Thank you very much. And let's give a warm welcome back to the States for Todd Richardson.
Okay, I've organized a series of images of projects which focus on my office's interest in using the inherent qualities and characteristics of the Maine landscape as inspiration and a catalyst for our work. We refer to this as place-driven design. The first project is a new residence sited on a salt pond which abuts Somestown on Mount Desert Island. The approach to this project was influenced by the blueberry barrens seen in this area of Maine, the pattern of glacial erratics, as well as the exposed rock and scrubby low vegetation inspired our approach to this particular project. Here is an image taken during construction prior to planting, which illustrates the placement of boulders spilling down the hillside, much like they did in the previous image. The boulders serve to visually link the buildings, define circulation, and establish unity in the landscape. The cluster of buildings, as a result, a sense of place is established that creates the perception of buildings responding directly to existing conditions. The integration of buildings and landscape is established in a way which is quite different than the too common approach of simply landscaping around buildings. The cluster of buildings seen in the previous image replaced a structure that sat on the shore of a salt pond. Rather than a riprap solution to address the erosion potential of the steep slope, we looked to the existing natural conditions around the salt pond for a more site-driven solution. We were able to use large pieces of stone from another site where there was blasting that was occurring. Here you can see the placement of these stones with new plantings around them, retaining the slope and relating to the conditions seen around the perimeter of the pond. The existing plant palette of blueberry, huckleberry, bayberry, and sheep laurel was used as the basis for choosing what new plants would be planted. The creative management of this slope and close collaboration with the architects allowed us to make a seamless transition from grade to the decking, which floats out and over the salt pond. The buildings, decks, a pathway, and the landscape intersect at this juncture where an important view is also framed. This residential landscape celebrates the intersection of natural and proposed conditions. The site is steeply sloped, laced with large boulders and numerous granite outcroppings, and had significant drainage problems. By scribing the decking to the boulders, a unique fit is established with the landscape. Here you can see one of the many major drainage channels coming down the steep slope of the site. Rather than fighting the existing pattern of drainage, we celebrated this by using one of these and creating a feature out of it. In this case, we placed the deck over the space, and the channel comes under it, and after a hard rain, you can hear the water while sitting on the terrace. The elevated deck also allows for a hot tub to be partially recessed and integrated into the design. The space sits away from the house as a destination offering filtered views of the distant landscape. Here you can see the channel coming through. The purpose of this project was to develop an outdoor space for gathering, worship, and celebrating within a modest budget. Our design goal for the project was to have the space be as simple as possible, allowing for the beauty of the site to shape one's experience and connect them with the natural world. Rather than the typical focus of bringing things to a site, our interest was in how meaningful space could be shaped by the existing site elements. Seating, a podium, and handicapped accessibility were all woven into this intention. The purpose of this next project was to develop a memorial to commemorate a person by the name of Fitz Dixon, who was a resident of Grindstone Neck in Winter Harbor, Maine. The design of the memorial draws directly from the shore conditions seen here, which abut the memorial. The memorial itself is a small seating space for contemplation. It's intended to be an extension of the granite that shoulders out of the water upwards towards the memorial. So you can see the memorial off to the right and the shore down to the left. Additional boulders, like those commonly found along the shore, were introduced and define a gateway into the space. This is the pathway with the native plantings of blueberry headed towards the site. Here you can see the curved stone seating bench emerging from one of the gateway boulders, the pathway coming into the memorial on the left, and the use of large granite paving slabs that in size, scale, and orientation begin to relate to what you see down by the shore, making a connection to the shore. This project is located on a remote part of Moosehead Lake. It seeks to make a special connection for a family and a place they love. In the process of creating this new home on the site of a treasured camping spot, the very qualities of the place the family loved were lost and needed to be reestablished. Here in this before and after image, you can appreciate the extent to which existing site qualities were destroyed during construction and needed to be recreated on the left. Our effort literally brought nature up to the front door, as seen on the right. The amount of fill necessary to bring the grade up to the level of the entry clearly challenged our goal of seamlessly integrating the entry with its context. Here you can see one of the back terraces off of the home here, and we used large granite paving stones to mimic ledge. That just looks like you come out of the house and utilize the ledge for seating. And then this final image summarizes the intent of the projects I have shown this evening, where the edges between what existed and what was introduced are blurred, and the design is seamlessly integrated with nature, prompting the question, so what did you actually do here?